Masech Avoda zara da Flamen Oben and Aleph. Sagt die Gemara Tanya Rabbanan we learned in the Braise Yaim Avushol Valuntis cooked wine of a goy, and aluntis is mashke that they mixed in a liquid that they mixed in with the wine of a goy. As soon as forbidden to have anah, because to begin with it was wine, and we're afraid that maybe the goy used it for avodah zara. Alun is kivir yaseh, but what if he bought it ready-made? This ingredient, says the Gemara Muteres, then it's mutma because it's not the derech of goyim to do nisrayayin that has a mixture of another liquid. Basically, aluntis. What's the case of aluntis? Says the Gemara Tanya, like we learned in the Braise Gabe, the preparation of machal mishabes oisin. You're allowed to prepare anoimlim. Anoimlim is a kind of drink. The Gemara is going to go through it. But we don't make aluntis. What is anumlim? What is aluntis? Anumlim is a taruvis of yayin wine with vash or pilpulin and a spike of pepper. Aluntis is a mixture of yayin yoshin, old wine, umayim slulin, and clear water, and balsam oil. The avdalei masusa, which they do for bathing, and in order that those that take a hot bath should cool themselves all from the heat of the merchatz. But it's not something to quench your thirst, and therefore it's similar to a refuah. It's similar to a trufa, to a medicine, and you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos because you might come to grind and come to the Isa of Tchina to make yourself a medicine by grinding herbs. And grinding is also a malacha b'Shabbos. Rabbi Yisrael Tavayu. Rabbi Yisrael both said, Yayin Mazog, diluted wine, Ein by Mishum Gilui, is not subject to the Isa of uncovered liquids where you have to be afraid that the snake put in its poison. Yayin Mavoshain by Mishum, because they wouldn't drink diluted wine, the snakes. Yain Mavoshain by Mishum Shash Nisuk. Cooked wine, we don't have to worry about that the guy used it for libation because they don't use for libation yaim avushal. You might ask that question. Yaim avushal yesh by mishum gilei, by mishum gilei. Cooked wine, is there a fear that if it was left open that maybe a snake left in poison or not? Tashma, come in here and I'll answer you. Hey, Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Di, yaim avushal. Rabbi Yaakov, they testified about the cooked wine, by Mishum Gilui, that there is no worry about the uncovered wine that maybe a snake dropped its poison. Rabbi Yana by Yishmael Chalas al Legabe. It says Rabbi Yana by Yishmael fell ill. Al Legabe, Rabbi Yishmael ben Zainab and Rabban L'Shilibei. Rabbi Yishmael ben Zainab and the Rabbanan came to visit him. And during that time they were sitting, they asked the Shaila, is there, by cooked wine, is there a fear of maybe a snake left its poison in it or not? Is there meaning? Is there chash of the isa of uncovered uncovered liquid? Is the chash of it or not? Amalhu Rabbi Yishmael ben Zaydud said back to them, Hachiyam Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish Mishum Gavar Rabba. So said Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish in the name of a great man. Who is this great man? Says Gemara, it was Rabbi Chia. Yaim Avushaim by Mishum Gilui. He said that Rabbi Chia had said cooked wine is not subject to the isa of uncovered liquids. Amalulay, so the Chachamim said back to Rabbi Yishmael ben Zaydud, Nismech, could we rely on this? Could we rely on this halacha? So here he brings down its movement that the Chachamim didn't chas v'sholim not rely on Reish Lakish, especially he said in the name of Reb Chia, who was Adam Gadol. But the kavanah was maybe Reish Lakish said it as a svara, not as halacha l'maisa. Machlahu Rabbi Yana by Yishmael, Rabbi Yishmael motioned to them as if to say, alive al tzvari. He showed them his himself, his neck, He says, you can rely upon me, meaning the responsible rests on my neck. And there's no danger there. It says, from his sick bed, he showed emotion to his body and his neck. Okay, Shmuel and this guy Avlet, who was a very good friend of Shmuel, were sitting together. And wine, cooked wine was brought before them. So the guy Avlet removed his hand from it. He shouldn't touch the wine, that it should ask it for the Yidden. Shmuel said, he says, don't worry, you can take it. You don't have to worry about touching the wine, because Yain Mavushal is no shash that they use it for Nesach. Yain Nesach. It says the maid of Rabbi had some cooked wine that became uncovered. So she brought it before Rabbi Chia, meaning to ask if it's a dangerous drink or not. He said to her, that when it's cooked wine, there's no iser and chash of uncovered liquids by cooked wine. It says the shamish of Avoda that he had some diluted wine that became uncovered. So he was wondering if it can be used. Avoda said to him, we said diluted wine, those snakes won't go for it. So there's no iser of uncovered liquid by diluted wine. This was only said if it was diluted well, meaning that is 2 cups of water versus 1 cup of wine. I mean, 2/3 water and 1/3 wine. But only if it's partially diluted. It isn't this 2/3 of water. So then we say, no, you got to be worried that Shasi, that the snake will drink it, and therefore it's asa. So you're saying if it's diluted a little bit, it will drink. But Rabbi Huna was traveling on a boat and was taking wine with him. He saw this certain snake slithering through the water, running through the water, and coming to drink the wine. He said to the servant, meaning close his eyes, to blind this guy, the snake's eyes, that he shouldn't want the wine. Shaka Kale Maya, meaning diverted from this wine. So he took a little bit of water and shadalei, and he threw it onto the wine. And the snake turned back. So we see from this that a snake's not interested in wine, even when it's a little diluted. So the okay, Achya mustn't have shay. For undiluted wine, a snake will risk its life. I'm sorry, Achya mustn't have shay. So it says for undiluted wine, a snake will risk its life. I'm zingalei mustn't have shay. But if it's diluted wine, it won't give a meaning, it won't be ma'aser nefesh. So the Gemara is answering, yeah, for a little diluted wine, it's not going to be ma'aser nefesh, but if nobody's there, it will drink the wine. It will drink the wine. You do have to worry if nobody was there and it was uncovered that the snake went for it. The only reason why it wouldn't go for it here, because there were people there, so it felt that it wasn't ready to be ma'aser nefesh, because there was a little water that diluted the wine. But if nobody was there, it would go for the wine. So you have no proof. Faket, we're going to say that he would go for the wine. Says Gemara, and a snake wouldn't risk its life even for diluted wine. But it's either Rabbi Yani was in the city of Bei Achbeire, or was Ramile Ba'ahedya have Bei Achbeire, it was Ba'ahedya, it wasn't Achbeire, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Kashasu, Cham Naziga. They were sitting and drinking diluted wine, Pash Lehu Chamra Bechuba. they were left with some wine in the barrel, with sarunhi bifrunka. So they tied up the barrel with a cloth so the snake shouldn't be able to come in. He meaning Rabiyane, or it was Bahedja. So they saw this certain snake, the Shakamaya, that it was taking water and throwing it into the barrel. It was swallowing a lot of water, and it threw it on top of the barrel. The snake was throwing water, swallowing water and spitting it on top of the barrel. Adam la bechuva till the barrel was filled, and besalik hamra he loved it. And the wine overflowed of this barrel because of the snakes spitting water into it till it overflowed, and then when it overflowed, it went and drank the wine. So we see that snakes will drink even diluted wine, because you see that the snake itself took the water and filled it up until it overflowed to get from the overflowing of the wine to get to drink that. Says the mazik iushasi. The snake itself, if it dilutes it, it knows how much it's diluting it. So faket, so he's going to drink it because he's careful on how much he's diluting it. But if others do it, he's not going to drink it. So Ravashi, others say it was Mishasha that said Peruklis Akanta. Are you giving answers regarding what Sakans Nefashis? Once we see snakes drink any diluted wine, all such wine should be Osur. Amarava Hilsa, the halacha is Taka Yain Mazing Yesh by Mishmagilui. That diluted wine there is the Isa of if it's uncovered. V'yesh Mishum Yain Nesach, and it's also subject to Yain Nesach. Yain Mavoshain by Mishum Gilui, but Yain cooked wine, there isn't a concern of uncovered cooked wine. By Mishum Yain Nesach, because they don't serve Yain Nesach on the goyish to their idols. A little bit of diluted wine they do serve. So you want to Shamei. The seventh of Rab Chilki Rab Tuyo, the Shamish Yigayahu Kista the Maya, had a kista of water that became uncovered, and he was sleeping next to it. He came before Rab Chilki Rab Tuyo, he wanted to know if he can use the water. Amalei Rab Chilki said, meaning they said that the fear of a sleeping person is still on the snake, and therefore there's no concern about this water. You could drink it. But by night, it doesn't help the Shemitah, he says, because Nechashim rely that this person is going to sleep till the morning, and they're not afraid to drink from the water. And he says, but this is not so. There is no difference between the day and night. And we don't ever say that the fear of a sleeping person is upon the snake. Rav wouldn't drink water from an Armenian home, because they are not careful about leaving drinks uncovered. But he would drink from a Jewish widow's home. Sira, the Gavra Nikita, because he says that she holds on to the habits of her husband. And she continues to be makbid on those things that her husband was makbid. For instance, covering the liquids that it shouldn't be uncovered overnight. Shmuel would not drink the water from a widow's home because because she doesn't have the fear of the husband on her anymore, because he's dead, and she does not cover the water. But when it comes to Armenians, he does drink from the water. Even though they're not careful about uncovered liquids, but I'm not krusa miakapte, but they are particular about cleanliness, and therefore they cover the water in order that no dirt should fall into it. and that's why we don't have to be concerned. He wasn't concerned, and you can drink from those waters. Ikadamri. Others say Rav lo yishasem ayimi be'amo. He didn't drink neither from a Armenian home. I'm sorry, Rav didn't drink from Armenian home, but he did drink from Almana, like in the first years of the Machlekes. When Shmuel lo yishasem ayimi be'amo, but Shmuel didn't drink not from the Armenian nor from the house of Almana. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said, Shalish Yenes, there are three types of wine named Mishum Gilui, and they're not shaykh to the Isur of uncovered liquids. And these are they: Chad, sharp wine; Mar, bitter wine; and Masik, and very sweet wine. It says, you want a Chad, sharp wine, is Tila Charifa, And it's a type of wine that is not good, and it's not good or sweet. Only it's very sharp, like vinegar. The mitzadi ziki, that it can even break the barrel. That's how sharp it is. Mar, bitter. Yanaka. Yanaka is a type of wine that the taste is bad and bitter. Masuk, sweet. Hanyuchuya. It's such a type of wine from such grapes that was sweetened by the sun, and it's so sweet that Nechashim don't like it. So these are the three types. Rav Chama, Le'iluya. Rav Chama taught it that these are very meshubich wine, very superior wine. Chad, sharp wine, refers to Chamau Poplin, such wine which has a touch of pepper, and other samabanim which are mixed in it, other herbs which is sharp. Mar, fascinating. It's like wormwood, castwood wine. Masuk and sweet is made borg, is a type of a liquid that's very meshubach, very praised, very chashuv. He says that the Karina wine doesn't have the isa of uncovered liquids. My Karina, what is it's sweet wine that comes from the city of Asya. This place of this wine from Asia, there is the Isa of Mishum Gilui. My time, because this is the Chama of the Medina, and the Chashim became accustomed to drinking that wine. That's the wine that they drink there, so therefore you have to be concerned. Rabbi said, "Hai chamra the akrin, wine that has begun to become sour, but not completely into vinegar. Ad tlasa yema yesh bei mishum gilu mishum yain nesach. Up till 3 days, it's still under the isa of uncovered liquids, but and it's also considered as yain nesach. They would still use it for avodah zara, but after that they wouldn't. After 3 days, because since it got so ruined, there's no worried for uncovered wine from the snakes, nor will they chash that they're going to use it for the service for idols. Even after 3 days, there's no there's no problem, but you're still concerned about the snakes. My time, what's the reason? Because at times it can happen that a nachash will come and drink even such wine. Fermenting wine is not subject to the isa of uncovered liquid. The kama, how long are we talking about of the fermenting? Meaning that it shouldn't be 3 days. Hashakalayim is a type of grass. It's a minyerek that was crumbled and mixed into the water and the wine. There's no worry about the snakes coming to it. But the Bnei Agila, meaning the people of Galus, outside of Eretz Yisrael, had asked it because they were afraid that sometimes Even though B'derech Klal Anachash doesn't taste when liquid that has grass, but the Bnei Hagila was concerned because of sakana for those distant times that it could happen. This was not said only where there is no vinegar in the cress containing liquid, of that liquid that he placed it in. There's no vinegar. But if there is vinegar in them, the vinegar antagonizes the snakes, irritates them, and their palates, and therefore they don't touch it. They don't drink it. Kut chabavli, ain't by mishum gilui. Kut chabavli is not. You don't have to worry about snakes touching it, because it's a sharp, hard taste like vinegar. Ubnei hagoyla, the people from Galus, and they were machmeh and nagabayisa, and they said if it was uncovered, they said it should be asa. Amarav Menashe East Nikuri, if you see a bite or indentation that it looks like a snake bite, so then Chashina, we are concerned that maybe the Nachash went to it and it left also its poison. Make tif that if a keli, which the liquid is dripping from a barrel into another keli, is not subject to the gilui, because the sound of the drops deters the nechashim to come close, because they think there's somebody there. So, that's what Taisa says. This din is only in the case of a tiftif, lade tiftif, and this is only if the liquid falls drop after drop with no hefsek in between. The mouth of a fig is not subject to the uncovered liquids, even though there has an opening. The little opening in the fig, while it's cut off, in that place where it's cut off, where it was connected to the branch, is open. We don't have to worry that maybe the nachash left its poison there. Kiman says, who does halacha follow? Says, like this time that we learned in the Brayso, Rebbe Lezer says, a person can eat grapes and figs at night, and he doesn't have to worry that maybe of the poison of the snake. Mishum Shanama, because it says in the pasuk Shem P'sayim Hashem, that it says that Hashem protects the simple. Just like Rebbe Lezer allows figs to be eaten at night, he also allows the figs to be eaten if an opening was created by cutting it off by the stem. And he says because and he brings down from the Mefarshim and in Shabbos Kufchavtes and Yivames, this klal was only by dvarim that is if it's only a chashash rachik that the snake will come. But if it's more often that the snakes come and eat from them, so then it'll be usher, even though it's a miyut, even though it's not so common. Omer Rav Safra says, Rav Safra Rabbi Yeshua the Rebbe. Rav Safra said in the name of Rabbi Yeshua of the South. Shleishim mini are saying there are three types of venom. Shabacha shekeya, a young snake. His is a heavy poison that goes straight to the bottom. I mean, that's why shekeya goes to the bottom of the kli. Shanachash begil beinani mefafeya, but a nachash of middle age, the poison goes to the middle of the drink. Which shanachash sakin tzaf. But of an old man, his poison is the lightest, and it swims on top, floats on top. In fact, he's saying the older the snake becomes, it becomes weaker. By the time it learned the Brayso, there are three creatures that as they get older, they become stronger. These are they: dog, a fish, nachash, a snake, the chaz, and a pig. So you see, a nachash is amongst those that as it gets older, it gets stronger. So how could you say that its venom only floats on top, and a young one goes all the way to the bottom. In strength, yeah, it increases in strength. Obviously, had a collish, but its venom is weakened. So what are you coming to tell us that it goes to the bottom of the keli, the venom of a young snake? A barrel that was left uncovered, even though 9 people drank from it and they didn't die, the 10th one shouldn't drink from it, because it could be the venom is right on the bottom, and that's where the 10th person is going to take his drink from. So a story, that 9 people drank from the barrel and they didn't die. And the 10th one did die. Rabbi Yirmiyah said, this is the venom that sank to the bottom, and that's why the 10th person died. Similarly, a watermelon, I'll use watermelon because it's soft, that was left uncovered, even though 9 people ate from them and they didn't die, the 10th one shouldn't eat from it. Why? And he gives you a story because we say it's on the bottom of the watermelon. My side was a story. 9 people ate from the watermelon and they didn't die. And then the 10th person came and ate it, and the 10th person ate it, and he died. Rabbi said that this is the explanation. This is referring to the young snake, that the venom goes all the way to the bottom. So you shouldn't eat from the bottom, nor should you eat from the middle or from the top, because it corresponds to 3 poisons of 3 different snakes. The old snake floats on the top. Don't be from the first ones. Don't be from the middle ones, because a middle-aged snake, his venom goes to the middle. And don't eat from the bottom. Don't be from the last one drinking from the barrel, because the young snake's venom goes to the bottom. So you don't know which one it is. So don't touch the top, middle, and the bottom. Water that was uncovered. You shouldn't pour it out into the Shusarabim area, because why would you pour it? You would pour it to in those days to get rid of the dust, to make the dust fall on the floor. And he brings down over here, what's the problem? Okay, we're going to say it soon. Nor should he knead the clay with it. And he shouldn't give it to his animal to drink, or to the animal of his friend. And he shouldn't wash his face, hands, and feet. Okay, so what was the purpose of it? So he says that when it came to the feet, that when people would walk on it, if you would wash the floors, it goes between the toes, and when it sits there and it penetrates, it can kill the person. That's why you shouldn't use it to wash the floors. Face, hands, and feet. So again, you have between the fingers, that's a problem, and then you have in the face, you have holes, so that it could enter these places and kill the person. Achenim say only where there's indentations in which the water could gather together, that's where it's forbidden to wash the waters on. Ein sirta muta, but if there's no indentation where the water can sit, you don't have to worry. Achenim hain the Tanakama says, that's exactly the Tanakama, because the Tanakama also said it's us only to wash your face, hands, and feet, because these are limbs that have openings, cracks. So what are the 2 days arguing about? The chiluk will be the back of the hand, the top of the foot, and the cheekbones where it could smoothen off and fall off. So if you're asking part of the other part of it doesn't matter. Money the ape, according to the man that says only if there's crevices, so you don't have to worry about the face or the back of the hand. or the back of the top of the foot. It will slide right off. But according to the mandam that says you're not allowed to wash your face, hands, and feet, it doesn't matter where it is. Omamar, the Tana said that lo yashk mehem, you shouldn't give it to drink, not your behema, nor the behema of your friend. But we learned in the Vaisa, he's allowed to give it to drink to his own behema. And when you want to keep Tanya, when did we learn that? But in regard to a cat, which is not really affected by the snake because they eat snakes. So why should let him be able to give it to his friend to drink? Because his friend's cat will become weak. His cat will also become weak. But it will recover. His friend's cat will also recover. Sometimes his friend want to sell the cat in the middle. And because he allowed him to drink that water, so it will be temporarily weakened and the guy won't want to buy it.